Welcome again to River Art Gallery and Gifts in the strange time of COVID 2020. Per the state of New York, with normal precautions, we are open every Friday and Saturday from 11 to 5. Today we'll tour our holiday exhibition. As we enter through our Main Street door, actually our rear entrance, we can start with our north-facing wall with a photograph by Christopher Behrend titled Dunes of Twilight. Above that is a small bright oil called Drinking Alone, Contemplating the Bizarre Fulfillment of My Online Grocery Order by Michelle Marcotte. Next are two watercolors. The lower piece is by Dan McGrath, titled Nabska Light. Above is Aline Herion's juicy fruit piece in watercolor called Heirlooms. Crossing past my favorite green door is a mixed media collage by Vicki A called Autumn Blaze. Next, from the top down, are Connie Garver's color pencil drawing Arctic Thief. Then in the middle is a small, poignant acrylic on cardboard by Doug Mess, Winter Vacancy. Then we have James Vincent's soft pastel pencil on paper titled Natural. Finally is a sweet oil by Deborah Barbour called Knitting Lessons. Rounding the corner is a fiber work by Judith Martin she calls Palomino Pillow. Above that is Jacob Kedzierski's collage titled Wigged Out. Around the corner on the east-facing wall, we see a small paint pour on canvas created with yarn called Yarn It by Susan Burkard. Beneath that is another white pencil on black paper piece called Sultry Soak by James Vincent. On a corner pedestal is a small but detailed polymer clay sculpture by Dean Vigikin called The Overlook. Then another oil by Deborah Barbour just in time for the holidays, called Christmas Morning. Turning north again, we see Eric Fisher's small acrylic, Are You Going There With Me? Below that is a mixed media work called Sowing the Seeds of Love by Zona Lucia. Next is a large abstract acrylic called Time to Release by Brien Berberich. Here's another abstract acrylic, but by Bill McCullagh, titled Election 2020. Below that is a pastel by Shelley Moore, Fall Color. Anchoring the center of the north wall is Barbara Rickard's large oil painting, A Tunnel Tumble. Now we see a piece appropriately called Egg Landscape by Michelle Marcotte. Below is a digital photographic print, Colors Divide by Christopher Behrend. A three-dimensional assemblage follows by Jerry Glaser, he named Morning in the Garden of Eden. Here is a small oil by Joan Shaw called Dried Flowers. Beneath that is a watercolor titled Sunset on the Island by Roy Fink. Then we have an Elaine La Vigne watercolor aptly named Winter White, which in keeping with the seasons is above a pastel named Fall by Shelley Moore. On the corner pedestal is watercolor screen print titled Looking Down, Looking Out the Window by Madeline Bartley. Here is a Dennis Bertram leather print with leather dye and ink on leather called Teepee Encampment. Above that is another watercolor called Captain Phillips' Shrimp Boat by Dan McGrath. Two more pieces complete the east wall. First is a watercolor, Chapel on the River by Roy Fink. And below that is Jean Jane's pastel Glowing Glen. Crossing the room, still facing east, is Connie Garver's Forest Mandala, an acrylic on canvas. Then we have another watercolor by Aline Herion called Rhinebeck Market. In the center is a large mixed media piece, The Dame, by Beverly DiPalma. Then we have a watercolor by Debra Meier titled Cherry Pie. On the corner pedestal is a collage by Jacob Kedzierski called Becoming Other. Turning south, we see Barbara Rickard's quirky oil and stretcher bar titled Art Choke. Moving on, we see a small oil by Joan Shaw, Delaney's Dilemma. Beneath that is a soft pastel by Melinda Schneider titled The Dogs of War, Homage to Franz Marc. To the left and above is an oil by Sandra Orlando Vanich, Heaven Can Wait. Below that is a lighted, mixed media collage by Eric Fitscher called Rust Never Sleeps. In front of our south window is another polymer clay sculpture by Dean Vigikin called A Walk in the Woods. A small acrylic by Bill McCullagh follows next, titled I'm Going Home. Between the south windows is an acrylic by Melinda Schneider titled Locomotion, part of a transportation series. On the corner pedestal, we have a Chinese brush painting by Mary McKee titled Cherry Blossoms, Coming Soon. Looking east again, we have an oil painting by Jake Linkowski called Deer on Streeter Brook Road. Beneath that is another small mixed media work by Zona Lucia, Supported, Protected, Connected, United. Centering the wall is a large oil by Doug Mess titled From the Garden. The final two pieces in the first gallery are an alcohol ink work by Vicki A called Circle of Color and a soft pastel piece by Donna Hale, Fog in the Field. Rounding the corner and looking west in the second gallery is Jean Jane's triptych in watercolor called Nature's Trio. Beneath is a pastel by Mary McKee titled The Valley. Finally is a 2D mixed media soft sculpture called Who? By Judith Martin. Looking south is Madeline Bartley's mono-screen print with arborvitae called Golden Wave and Drifting. Under that is Through the Looking Glass by Sandra Orlando Vanich. To her left is a serene mixed media work by Judie Pufpaff titled Dawning of the Day, Joshua 6:15. On the south window ledge is a small oil by Jake Linkowski, Early Winter Morning. Past the window is an abstract acrylic, Sound Off, by Brien Berberich. Then we have another Elaine La Vigne watercolor called Fort Niagara. Below that is an acrylic pour-on glass created with balloons called Nosegay Meadow by Susan Burkard. A large assemblage by Jerry Glaser is next, titled Uneasy Rests the Crown of the Queen. Here is a second leather work by Dennis Bertram named Three Sisters. Then we have a watercolor titled Pompeii by Jeanette Woodward. Back to where we came in is a small watercolor by Debra Meier titled Cardinals in Flight. The judge for this exhibition was well-known local artist, art director, instructor, and gallery owner Paulette Krakowski. She gave the following awards. Honorable mention to Dean Vigikin for A Walk in the Woods. Honorable mention to Donna Hale for Fog in the Field. Third place to Barbara Rickard for Tunnel Tumble. Second place to Vicki Oliver for Autumn Blaze. First place to James Vincent for Natural. And Best in Show to Debra Meier for Cherry Pie. Congratulations to all of our artists for a beautiful exhibition. As we head to Webster Street, we pass through the gallery store. We have many new paintings, unique ceramic pieces, jewelry, fiber and fabric works, glass, wood, and leather pieces in anticipation of the coming holidays. Many thanks to Barbara Rickard for our window display. As always, we offer a variety of work from local Western New York artists and craftspeople. Please stop by in person to see all that we have. Thank you for joining us for our gallery and store walkthrough. Hope to see you soon.